Hey chat, it's another Manic Monday, filmed on a Wednesday, as always. This is, I think, the 16th episode. I didn't check, actually, before going in on this. I really should be checking these things. Let me just view my channel really quick. Yeah, today is episode 16, which is pretty neat. I'm happy with it. I ended up skipping last week. And I'm not super huge on the fact that I've skipped like 5 streams so far this year, because we're not quite halfway through the year, but that is half of the freebies that I've given myself. And the reason that I skipped last week is because I kind of just ended up having a lot of stuff stack on top of each other. Maintenance was going to come by at some point the day prior, but they didn't show up and instead showed up sometime the following day when I would have been streaming, so it's a good thing that I canceled. And then that evening was the scope creep meeting, so Wednesday was a little tight. I wasn't able to make the stream, which is really unfortunate, but oh well, here we are now. Stream today went really well. It was a 2-hour stream. The first hour was mostly spent doing some light research on how to season my cast iron and then doing the seasoning of the cast iron. The back half of, I guess, like the second quarter of the 50, because originally I started with 25, and the back half of the 25 was me scrubbing out the spot that the parchment paper that I was using had left. And then the timer went off right as I was done, and I hopped back in, and I'm like, hey chat, we're gonna make this a 50, because my cast iron was wet. So I went to go dry off the cast iron, and then threw some oil on it and threw it in the oven. I did a cold start for my oven. There's so much information online about how to season your cast iron, and it's all conflicting. It's all very conflicting, and every single guide says, there's no need to be worried, there's no need to be scared. We know that there's a lot of conflicting information out there, but we'll simplify it for you, and here's exactly what you need to do. And it's completely different from the other blogs that say that exact same thing. It's really frustrating, actually. Anyway, it's coated in castor oil, and I had it baking in the oven at 500 degrees for the rest of the stream, which was about an hour and a half. And then, well, okay, here in about 10 minutes, it will have been an hour and a half. I went ahead and turned off the oven, so it'll have been just over an hour. But I'm gonna let that cool in the oven overnight, and then hopefully have some bread for tomorrow, because your boy has been making bread again, which is very exciting. That's actually kind of why I have to reseason my cast iron, is because I used it for the first time this week, not quite knowing exactly how to use it. And it turns out parchment paper can only withstand a certain temperature. But also, apparently, maybe the parchment paper trapped some sort of moisture underneath it, and that caused the cast iron to rust, so maybe that was the problem. I don't know. I scrubbed for like a good second, and I got most of it out, but there was still kind of some discoloration around that spot, so I don't know, we'll see. From what I've been told, cast iron is extremely durable, so there's not really anything I can do to fuck it up. It's just, how do I take care of it, you know? Like, how do I make sure that I can cook well with it? Anyway, the time that wasn't spent seasoning my cast iron was spent job hunting. I didn't actually put in any job applications today. Instead, I spent some time researching some jobs. Family and Children's Services has a job board that they manage and that they can send out to clients. A lot of the jobs on there either were jobs that I kind of wanted but was definitely not qualified for, or jobs that I'm kind of trying to get away from. So I might give it a second look, but then also, again, there's been some jobs on Indeed that have popped up that I've been a bit more interested in. So, a 2-hour stream means 4 treats, and I did not actually refill this. So I guess as a group, we're gonna go ahead and refill this. Even though last week I said I don't want to. I'm gonna go in with some Puppy Girls. And got some boba candies. And I was a little worried. I didn't know if I had placed my fantasy haiku mix in here or not. I don't think that I have any other, like, candy to put in. So we'll go ahead and take out the last two haiku that I have in here and the one kopiko. The last two haiku are, of course, oh, they're different actually. We have a candy apple and a strawberry ice cream and one kopiko. And then we get to refill the treat jar, which is actually kind of exciting. I didn't quite put together that this would be such a big deal. So we'll throw in a handful of boba candies. And we'll throw in, if I can get it open, a handful of kopikos. I definitely need to, like, get a wider variety of hard candies, I think, because just having the boba and the kopiko is a little unfortunate. That being said, I also have Zots that I've been using to help with, like, nicotine cravings. I'm not craving nicotine anymore, but I am still craving, like, stimulation, you know? Like, I am craving something hitting my taste buds and just, like, absolutely shocking them. And Zots do a really good job of that. So, like, realistically, I don't need hard candy other than kopiko and bobas, but, like, it would be nice. I also want to get some cacao at some point, but some haichu sounds like a good vibe. We'll do, like, that much. Alright. Set that aside. Give this a shake and see if maybe I can just grab one at random. Shake, 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 shake. I've already got 2 chewy cookies out of 4. Like, I've got 2 haichu and a kopiko. So I think realistically I should go with a hard candy. But they're new haichu though. Like, I haven't had these in a while. Like, rainbow sherbet? That's it. That's the one. That's the one that we're doing. I'm sorry. Anyway. I do really love the fantasy mix. The 3 flavors that you get in the fantasy mix is rainbow sherbet, blue Hawaii, and blue raspberry. The rainbow sherbet slaps. It's so good. It's so good. I don't know if those are going to fit in that drawer anymore. That drawer ended up being a catch-all for extra notebooks that I found, and it is now full. So that bottom drawer has stopped being functional. I am going to have to open it up and take everything out and put everything back in. It's not unfunctional like it was at the beginning of the year, or dysfunctional, I guess you could say, but it's definitely not what it was after I cleaned everything and put everything back together. Unfortunate. We had a new subscriber today, actually. There was somebody who joined the stream kind of while I was in the middle of my job hunting. Oh goodness, what was their name? I just had it pulled up. I'm so sorry. It's J Hipple and JHIPPL. Welcome to the team. It's super cool to find a new subscriber. They had joined in while I was studying, and I didn't get the chance. I didn't see that they had hit the chat. And I completely missed their chat messages. I didn't respond until like 6 minutes later, which isn't a terribly long time, but I imagine kind of what they did, and this is potentially wrong, I don't know. Jay, if you end up seeing this and you want to comment and tell me that I'm wrong, definitely do. But if it were me, this is something that I do often, is like okay, I need to move on from whatever I'm watching, but I'll subscribe so that way I've got you bookmarked and I can go back to you. Hopefully that's what it is. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I did to earn your subscribership, but you're welcome. Yeah. Next week, I don't think that I have anything on the books. Go Creep isn't meeting for another couple of weeks. Let me open my fancy Nancy planner that I've got, that I set up yeah, I don't have anything on the books for Wednesday of next week, but Thursday I'm getting to go see The Amazing Digital Circus, the final act. I'm really excited. I'm so excited. I've been spoiler free this entire time. Don't spoil it, please don't. Nobody watches these videos, so hopefully nobody's gonna spoil it, but on the off chance that this somehow goes viral, please don't spoil it in the comments. Like, please, I don't deserve that. Good gravy. What else is there to talk about? Yeah, so next week I don't have any obligations for the day, so I should be able to stream, barring crazy weather or something weird happening. Yeah. Y'all have a good day, make a good choice. I'll plan for next week, I guess, would be a good idea of what I normally talk about. Probably just more job hunting. Either that or actually catching up to my coworker in scope creep, which I should do tonight too. Oh, also, there's a special election coming up next month. I've been meaning to research the primary candidates. If you are an Oklahomie, if you are a friend in Oklahoma, please put this on your calendar. The 16th of next month is a special election, and there is a bill up to raise the minimum wage. It would immediately raise the minimum wage to $9 and then steadily increase it to $15 by the year 2030. So, and the reason why you probably haven't heard of it and why it's so, like, in such a random spot for voting is because Kevin Stitt, who is a piece of garbage, opted to move this vote, which was scheduled, I think, 2 years ago, from what I understand, opted to instead move it to the primary election this year as a special election because the turnout for primaries in midterms is super low. So he's doing his absolute best to get this buried. Please go out there and vote. Please go out there and vote. And, like, in this world changing and, like, democracy changing the rules of how we interact with it, it is very possible that this might be the last good thing that we get to vote for quite some time. So please, 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 please go out there and vote. Make your voices heard. I would love to see Oklahoma join the ranks of, like, California in getting this bill passed. Like, if we could have minimum wage raised to $15 an hour by 2030, that would be so good. That would be so good. Please. And people want to say, oh, well, it's going to put strain on small businesses. Okay, well, the small businesses should be getting more money than the Waltons anyway. The Waltons are getting, like, cash outs. Large businesses are getting all sorts of, like, handouts from the government. Why aren't small businesses getting that? Isn't that what you should be upset about? Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Y'all have a good night. Get out there and vote. Peace.